Okay, my friends, every night about this time I come tiptoeing into your, whatever it might be, your home or your living room or your bar room or your salon or your saloon, and I say welcome to the Joe Franklin Show. But today it's a very special, warm welcome. I just met a man. I just met a man. Made me feel, what are the words? Made me feel so relaxed and so relaxing and so mellow that I would just like to relax with this man, not just for a little while, but face to face, eyeball to eyeball, nose to nose for about a 24-hour, or what you would call an open-end interview. We're going to do as much as we can. The man's name is Bill Cosby. And Mr. Cosby and yours truly appeared on TV a few times when we were both babies about a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it might be fun to go down memory lane and talk about then and now with the man. I guess we've had many, many guests on our show through the years. We've had every superstar, and most of them would appeal to what you would call one segment of the audience, and let's face it, that one segment can make somebody rich. But this is a man, I guess, who appeals to everybody. He is every man, he is everybody. His name is Bill Cosby, and the program begins something like this. Stay with me because the blockbuster, the masterpiece, is about to begin. Don't ever leave me. If you leave me, I'll feel insecure. Stay with us, please. Be right back. What do I say to Bill Cosby except welcome, and can I shake that hand and say it's been too long?
You were talking to me about memory lane.
Right.
And I thought for maybe some people might want to know why I decided to come on your show.
Bill, if you would tell me, and you'll vouch for the fact that we're spontaneous right now. We just said hello 30 seconds ago. We embraced for the first time in a couple of years, but...
yes.
That couple being maybe 20.
Sure. More than that, I think. 26,
24.
I don't look like I was married then. I don't look married in the picture you showed me. Of the two.
No aggravation then.
Yeah. But I think that... see, I remember your show.
Yes.
And I was starting out. And I had, I think maybe I'd done the Tonight Show a couple of times, which was here.
In Manhattan.
Yeah. And I think that the picture may have taken place when I was playing someplace like Basin Street East or the Gaslight. Someplace like that in Greenwich Village. But certainly, your show was and is a big show to do. And I wanted to, when they gave me a list of people to do while promoting this book, I said, well, I want to do the Joe Franklin Show. And it's sort of, the noise went around. So I said, yeah, because you have to go to the people who, whether it was 25 or 26 years ago, what you did for me as a new entertainer starting out at age 26 or whatever, I mean 51 now, I mean I have to come back here and say thank you.
Bill, I will never forget those words. You know, nobody discovers anybody. I didn't discover, but maybe if I gave you some of the first TV exposure, that little rendition is so poignant to me that I will not forget that. That's beyond tender.
Believe me, at this point in my career, when so many people can get a reputation from tearing down,
yes,
You understand? It is now time to go back to the people who don't have to get a reputation from tearing you down. Then you can sit around and have a good time. The only problem with you, Joe,
Yes.
is, is that you kept saying, oh, we're going to make this a classic. We're going to make this. See, now you're putting more pressure on me than you put on me when I was that young 24-year-old.
Now, Bill, let me take you behind the scenes. I tell that to everybody before every show. I tell that. I say, I meet them in the Purple Room. Or I say, today is a masterpiece. I say,
Right.
Today is one for the archives, for the vault.
Yeah, you scared me. You scared me. I said, oh, I don't think it's going to be, and he's going to be upset with me. He probably won't have me on anymore.
I have said
out
that
here in Sea Caucus.
I've said that for 37 years, Bill.
Have you?
37
37 years.
So today is not for the vault, for the archives. Today is just, as we said.
And the pressure's off?
No pressure, just to be mellow and go down. I got to tell you one thing you told me when we did the show about 1964. You told me that you were then, you said 26, you told me you intended to quit show business about the age of 34 and become an educator or a teacher. I forget the word.
Did I say that?
Something along those lines I recall vaguely. Could that have been you? Could I be correct?
Yes, I said that because I had no idea how much fun I was going to be having.
In show business.
In show business.
Right.
Yes, but I still teach.
Right.
I do it with the shows, with the book.
Let me tell you that I happen to be...
No, don't bring it up.
I want to bring it out later.
Yeah.
Anybody. You know what my next book is called? I Held Up a Million Books. You like the title? My next book is, I've written a lot of books.
And then you'll have all the pictures of the books you've held up. Yeah.
You like that title?
I do, because it would be quite nostalgic. And the person beside you. Listen, the people that you have had... I was thinking, wouldn't it be great not just to have one day, like your memory lane of all the people you've talked to, those shots, because I think you did that already.
Many times, couple times.
I would like to hear the variations on your theme song down through the years.
Beginning with I'm Looking Over a Four-Leaf Clover.
Yeah, by the Furco String Band.
That's the one from Philadelphia, right.
Thank you.
You know your onions. And 12th Street Rag.
Right.
And Remember.
Yes,
and
Max Morath.
And one for which we got sued.
What was that?
It was a theme from Axel F. from Beverly Hills, from one of those movies, I forget which. And whatever it is, we made peace.
Yeah.
And the one now is an original written just for us.
Absolutely. But listen to the beat, listen to the sound. It's today.
We deserve it.
I mean, I could go Wild Wild West, you know.
Bill, I'm looking at you. I'm racking my alleged brain, my alleged mind. I got a vague recollection, and you vouch this unrehearsed, of watching you on TV one time, and I'm positive it had to be you, and the Olympic champion high jumper missed jumping over the bar. He was the champion, and you jumped over that bar without touching the bar. He bumped into the bar, and the bar fell down, and you jumped over it. Am I right? Do you recall it vaguely? And the bar?
Yes, I remember it.
Not vaguely.
But it didn't. But it didn't mean anything. No. This was Fosbury.
Right.
And they
That's
named
right,
named the jump after him, the Fosbury flop, and Fosbury was on this. This stuff on the Tonight Show.
That's what it was.
And his shoe hit, his foot planted, and it slipped, and he hit the bar. But see, that shows you how people are in business, in this particular business. People are going around saying, "Oh, Bill Cosby out-jumped the Olympic high jumper." The man slipped.
Right. You hate to take a false bow.
No, it's not a false bow. It's just that these people take things and they bend them to fit their own, whatever the problem is with people in this business. The man is the high jumper of all times. At the time I was jumping with him, I wasn't competing with him. There was no way that I could out-jump this man. He's gone 7'4". My best was 6'7" when I was in shape and trying. End of it. And the guy hit the bar, and it went over. I mean, it fell to the mat. Fine. I went up and cleared it. People are going, "Oh, I saw you when you out-jumped the world." Get out of here.
That's incredible. Could those best shaped days have been in high school or in college so far as...
Best shaped days were in college. I remember running down the middle of the field. It was about 78 degrees Fahrenheit.
Right.
Because your show goes into Canada. And I remember this soft breeze blowing over my face and my chest, and I said, I will always remember this moment, because at this moment, I was on the dean's list.
Yes.
Someone told me. I didn't know it, and I didn't care. I was just so scared. I wanted to be a great student, and I wanted to know everything, because I'd come out of the service. I spent 3 years, 11 months, and 3 weeks in the Navy, not wanting to be there. And I just ran down the middle of the field. I said, I'm in the best physical and mental shape of my life. And I've not been that complete on those two terms since that day.
But you're looking trim and slim and slender and...
No, to be perfectly frank, Joe, I'm at that point in my career where my clothes are very uncomfortable. My waist is 38. I have on 36 trousers. The buttons are uncomfortable. The zipper does not go straight up. It goes like that. My jockey shorts, I've cut the side so that it doesn't cut the blood off from the thighs. I am not a comfortable feeling person. My neck is 17 and a half. I have a 15 shirt because I keep saying I'm coming back. I keep promising old suits that I'll be back. I put on a suit last night, Joe.
Yes.
I love that. Yes. Yes. Wow, wow, West.
We're recycling the Cosby suit, right?
I put the button and the thing together.
Right.
You don't have this problem, but it's all of us. There are guys out there.
I've got it.
No, where you pull it here, and it's a suit made in 1987.
Right.
When I lied to the tailor. He says, how are you? I said, the same as I was. So he made it and sent it to me. When you button the button, you got to come this, yeah. When you button this button, see, like you do this,
yes,
the flap comes up. So if you let the button go, the flap goes down. But if the jacket's open, then your shirt looks like there's a smoothness that comes down to your pants. You want to cover that up because your pants are under here. See, right there. So you pull this, the flap goes up, you let it go, the flap goes down, but this shows. So I'm not a happy person. I'm not comfortable with what I have on.
But you've made me self-conscious because I can identify too. That's why I didn't stand up. I'm just gonna. I'll just hide the flaps.
But you, Joe, have no idea what you look like to us. Those of us at home watching you have old pictures of you.
Bill, how long can we last? Now, you take a show like the Bill Cosby Show, which I can never envision that show or the characters on that show and you as the gynecologist or the obstetrician losing its appeal. If and when a series like that ends, who would decide when a series like that ends? Would it be you or the public or neither or both? Or you know what I'm saying, Bill?
The public would.
Really?
The public would.
It wouldn't be you?
No, the public would.
Really?
Because the numbers, see, right now the numbers are...
Astronomical.
They are?
Astronomical.
Oh, good.
As if...
Good, so I'll stay there. I like the job.
Right.
You know, and this is a good business because I'm 51, and so I can still keep this job. And I don't have to worry about a young guy coming behind me. You know what I mean?
Like me.
Yeah. They say, uh-oh, there's a young guy named Joe Franklin, and he's coming.
You know what I wonder when I talk to a man like... First, I want to tell you, Bill, I don't want to fawn or gush, but around Christmas time, somebody told me... I once spoke about some of Frank Sinatra's charitable endeavors, and I was told that he blushes, and I shouldn't say it. And somebody told me about some of the kind things that you did around holiday time with no publicity, and I came on the air and I made a little remark. I says, instead of being Santa Claus, the man is Santa Cos. You don't mind if I use a little...
No, it's, thank you.
I mean,
I appreciate it.
You have supported many worthy causes, and
we like to do it quietly, though, because I tell you why. So many people who also work for worthy causes find out that you happen to be a person who who gives, and so then they call you. So many of the benefits that I do when I'm the master of ceremonies, I look out and I see the same faces out there. So many of the same faces, which means that these people have written their checks, written their checks, written their checks, and by the time you write $6,000 times 11 of these benefits a year, plus some of the checks, you know, the things you don't show up for. And I'm just talking about the people who come to the affairs that I'm the MC. This city of New York, I know that the Waldorf Astoria, that grand ballroom, must make $1 zillion a year off of people doing benefits to raise money for different causes.
I think that people who do it without public relations, without PR, are great people, and because so many people hire a press agent to say that he sent out a check for $1 million, and it's good to keep it subdued
I'll tell you one thing,
and nice.
I don't think it helps.
No.
I don't think it helps in terms of people remembering you, because if you look at Frank Sinatra and you really go down, if someone printed a list of the things that Frank Sinatra has done, the benefits,
right,
and then on the other side, put down the negative things that raised more noise about what he did.
The list of anonymous checks he's written out to good causes, right?
On the button.
On the button.
On the button. That there's just something about the business and the way people handle the celebrities at times, and the way they want you to pay no attention. Like, it's a given that Frank Sinatra is supposed to, he's supposed to go to Carnegie Hall and do a benefit for juvenile diabetes. He's supposed to do that.
Right.
You know, you're not supposed to. I mean, that man is doing it because of what he believes in, and you have to give him that. You have to give him that.
There are so many people who demand that you go and do a benefit for such and such. It's like a must. It's an order. They say, Bill Cosby, or me in a lot of cases, go and do a... How can you do all the benefits, right? You do whatever you can.
No, but I mean, people like Dionne Warwick, well, I can't get
Bill,
into
before you became what I would call limousineable, before you became Bill Cosby, the #1 man.
I like that, Joe. Limousineable?
I made it up.
Did you really? Now, how did limousineable...
I was just being facetious, because when I was arranging today's show, I wanted to send a limousine, I want to tell the audience, for Bill Cosby, and he said no, he comes in his own little car, unostentatious, unflamboyant, and I was, once again, very...
I would love to ride in a limousine, but what happens is the limousine draws attention.
Right.
And then if you have smoke glass and people come around and they get on the hood, and they look in the front of your car and they say, then they say to the driver, who is that in back? And then the driver, you know, he says, oh, this is Bill Cosby. But the funniest thing I ever had happen, I think, I was in a limousine and the driver went through the light.
Right. And
the cop pulled him over. And before the cop could come up good, the guy said, I'm driving Bill Cosby, you know, using my name, get out of the ticket. Right. And the cop said, I don't think he's funny. And wrote the ticket for the guy, gave it to him, and then looked in the back at me and did like this.
That's great. That's great. That happened to me once, Bill. The cop wrote me a ticket. You know what I did? I gave a ticket for my show. I got even with him.
You did?
Gave a ticket to come to the studio.
That's not funny.
That's retribution.
Get out of here. Tell me about these hot dogs. Where were you eating this hot dog? Who's hot?
Tomaine Tavern.
Where?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I forgot already. But someplace on Broadway and 43rd.
You know, you have a place out here called Fat Mike's.
Fat Mike's?
Are you familiar with
Secaucus area?
Teterboro.
Teterboro.
Fat Mike's.
Now, is it nice?
If you're a hot dog lover, I'm sorry if I'm out of line. Did your trainer say you can't have those?
I want to go there with you, Teterboro.
You will? Over to Fat Mike's?
Right, love it.
Okay, we'll make a day. Promise? Yeah, I'll pay for it. And you'll ride in my little car.
Then I can't say no.
Huh?
I just look at Bill Cosby and I think, you know, I think of, there's one more show I watched when you I don't think anybody ever more gracefully acknowledged an award than when you got the award for I Spy and you thanked Robert Culp because the camera shot Robert Culp beaming and smiling. I remember.
Oh, yeah, well, we're still like that.
Really?
Well, listen, I was a comedian. I am a comedian, but at that time I didn't know anything about cameras and movie, you know, one camera.
Angles.
But hey, the guy could have buried me, Joe. He could have taught me all the wrong things.
Yes.
I'm talking about acting.
Because he knew.
All you have to do in order to make somebody feel insecure, self-conscious, is have an attitude. You don't have to say anything. You can just give a look every once in a while when they do something wrong. Make a little sound. Oh, you know.
Well, Bill, as a stand-up comedian or a stand-out comedian or a stand-up comedian who turned to acting and did so gracefully, so beautifully, did you study acting, let's say, in a school or in a course, or was it on-the-job training, or, you know?
Frank Silvera and a fellow named Luther James.
Right.
I hired them to, as soon as I found out I couldn't act.
Really?
Yeah, see, I always thought, I was like people at home. People at home sit there and they watch TV and they say, I could do that.
Yes.
Well, I was one of the few people that they gave a job to, and I couldn't do it. So I hired Frank Silvera and Luther James, and Frank would tell me what acting was about, and then I would go to Luther and I said, Luther, what did he say? And then Luther would explain it. And that's how, between the two, I got to do, you know, the style that I have.
You've rarely spoken about that incident or that experience. That's
Well,
a good tribute to a good man.
Oh, Frank Silvera was wonderful. But Frank, he would start to talk about acting, and he'd get so excited, I didn't know what he was saying, but I was excited. And I'd say, yes, yes. And he'd say, and then you have to be, I said, of course. And then he would leave. And then I said, well, what did he say? And then Luther would come in, and Luther was like you and I are talking now, very nice, and then I would understand, and then I would do it.
I am chatting with my favorite man in the whole world. We're just getting rolling. I want to talk.
Is this the same kind of thing as like, well, this is going to be in the museum?
In the archives.
Archives,
We're
yeah.
going to bring it up through the time machine every 100 years.
Don't try that, because, you know, I watch this show. So don't try it.
Bill knows all my tricks. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a book launching party, and we're going to be back in about 1 minute. Yeah, you want to show one of my old books on the screen?
How old is this book?
That's fairly recent. Here's one, Bill.
Joe. This is Joe. Joe Franklin, this is the first colorized book. Ted Turner.
That's right, that's right.
Book.
Bill, here's one that goes on forever called Joe Franklin's Encyclopedia of Comedians.
All right.
Have you ever seen it?
No, I haven't. Here it is, ladies.
Turn to letter C. Turn to letter C.
Letter C.
Bill, no, sorry, turn to letter C.
Letter C. Now I'm going to show you how old I am.
Turn to Cosby.
Jonathan Winters was the last guest you had that you showed this
That's
book.
right. How'd you know that?
You know what? Well, you got the paper clippers in
Yeah, you're
here.
right. I didn't know
You fool.
that.
Cassidy.
Chaplin.
C-O-S.
C-O-S.
Oh, look at me. Look at that hair. Which one?
That way.
Yeah. Isn't that wonderful hair?
Fabulous.
Oh, you could fall down and not get hurt.
Bill, I got to tell you, horrible. You fall down and break your hip.
Oh, and Wally Cox.
Remember him?
Oh, of course. I
He was
worked
great.
with Wally.
Mr. Peepers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know who should still work a lot in nightclubs?
Who's that?
George Goebel.
Oh, he's a funny man. He was great.
Yeah, he still is.
Don't hear the name.
But he has that great ending. That great ending about how to get off. George Goebel.
How does he say it?
Well, he has it's a whole thing of dragging out. And he says, it's something about a perfect way to end a show. You gotta hit a great note, and something about, and end with something that, like the word mother and my mother's eyes. It's wonderful.
Beautiful.
When George comes to do your show, you have to ask him to do that.
I will.
Because it's very funny. How much is this book?
For you, half price. No, for you, it's a gift. No.
You're still doing that. This is the way you did it when you were outside of the theater. For you, half price. And I was in Philadelphia. And a poster?
Yeah, it's got a poster.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, this is the Phantom.
Phantom of 42nd Street.
You were in this?
No.
Why?
But I spent a lot of time phantomizing on 42nd Street. I want you.
Okay. No, so this is the real poster?
No,
And
that's
this book?
it's a reproduction, but it's.
Oh, Joe.
Well, there's a big market,
Huh? No,
big
it's
market
the
today for
real thing.
memorabilia, for collectibles.
Yeah. I'm enjoying myself here. Here you have Dorothy Lamar, and you knew Joan Davis?
Very well.
I listened to her on the radio. I loved her.
Were you a fan of Milton Berle in the days?
I still am.
In the
He
days.
and I have the same birthday, you know.
I didn't know.
Did you know that?
No.
And he sends me a card all the time.
That's
Sends me a
fantastic.
card. Milton Berle and I have the same birthday.
Well,
That's
he was-
why we're funny.
He was number one. That night Tuesday, Bill, between Monday and Wednesday was called Berle's Day. Nobody was.
I got into trouble for that.
Really?
Yeah, because I used to put on my mother's clothes on that night. And my father wasn't too thrilled about it.
And he gave his gowns to Flip Wilson. He told me once on TV, I think. Milton Berle's old
No,
gowns.
Flip couldn't wear those. Flip is a little shorter
Too
than
short,
me.
yeah.
He should have given them to me, but my father would have hit him.
It's a book launching party, and Bill doesn't want to even talk about the book. But I want to talk about it as soon as I say we're chatting here with Bill Cosby, who was the #1 in anybody's league. And the
You
program.
knew Eddie Cantor?
Yeah, very well.
Really? How tall was he?
Eddie about 5'8.5".
So the two of you must have hit it off right away.
How about?
Did you meet Charlie Chaplin? Was he on there?
I had Charlie on my radio show. You know what he told me, Bill?
On your radio show?
Yeah, you ready?
Oh, wait a minute now. That's more than 37 years,
No,
though.
no, Charlie Chaplin about
Who was your sponsor?
Jello.
Hello, Jello. So Jack Benny was the
Right.
Jello again.
That's the guy.
Uh-huh.
Are you ready for what Charlie Chaplin told me?
What did he say?
He says how the whole world reads into his movies. They all the Freudian shadings, all the
Yeah.
implications about.
You could have said it the first time you said it. Go
He says,
ahead.
he had nothing in mind except to make people laugh.
Is that all?
That's what he said.
Boy, he was making mistakes all over the place.
All over the place.
Yeah.
Were you a fan of?
Did you mean Laurel and Hardy?
Knew them.
You met both of them together?
Both.
Oh, boy.
Abbott and Costello too.
No. Come on.
Yeah.
You had Abbott and Costello on this show?
Both. But not together.
Well, they weren't talking then?
Yeah, they were fighting.
Was that it?
They were
How,
fighting.
how about Kay Kaiser?
No longer with us, but I know him.
I know he's no longer
College,
with it.
college
Come
of
on.
musical knowledge.
Yeah, because these are guys from, oh, boy. How about Herb Schreiner? Did you have Herb Schreiner?
Never met him, but
Yeah, his picture's not here.
I met his son once,
Yeah.
Will Schreiner,
Right.
of blessed memory, so far as the TV show goes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're fortunate, Joe. You know, all you have to do is sit here and these people show up.
Bing Crosby.
Yeah.
I've had the ones, Bill, who you read never did a TV interview. I read where John Wayne never did one, Cary Grant never did one.
Uh-huh.
I've got the kinescopes or the videos to prove that
Joan Fontaine
we had her.
and Joe Franklin.
What a combo.
What a bill.
What a bill. What a
Oh,
double
my
bill.
goodness.
Don't stop now.
Now, okay, wait a minute now. I'm going to ask you a biggie now.
Right.
Did you have on your show Gigi,
Yes.
Greta Garbo?
Yes.
She was on your show.
On my telephone, but not on the show.
You called her?
No, she watches. One night, I played some of her soundtracks on the radio, and I got a phone call that she's listening and crying and happily
No.
crying. Yeah, but no.
Who called?
Her escort, her fiance, or her.
No, she never had that.
Well, her
Probably just the secretary.
her companion or secretary.
Yeah, yeah. What year was this?
Could have been about 4 years ago.
You're kidding
And
me?
we
on
meet
your radio show?
And we meet in theaters where they're playing Greta Garbo movies.
She comes to them?
Yeah, and she's sitting in the back with a big hat over her eyes, and she'll.
Call me when and then I will sneak in.
Are you a Charlie Chaplin fan? This is the 100th. This is the anniversary period. This
I
man
will
would
tell you my Charlie Chaplin story.
would have been 100 years old.
I will tell you
Please.
my Charlie Chaplin story.
Right.
All these people. Man, did you meet Sidney Greenstreet?
Not even on a back street. No, I never met Sidney Greenstreet. I want to hear the Charlie Chaplin story.
Okay, Charlie Chaplin.
Right.
I had never seen a Charlie Chaplin movie,
Never once.
and I was 27 years old, working in Greenwich Village.
Right.
So down on some street on the east side, 47th, 49th, something like that, east side, is the Charlie Chaplin Film Festival. Go ahead. You can
Continue.
hold the book up.
No, I don't want to.
So I decide, since I'm in comedy, that I will go study this Charlie Chaplin,
His technique.
please, because he was the greatest, they say. So I pay the money and I go in the theater and I'm sitting there by myself in the balcony of this theater. And the movie is City Lights. The movie plays, and halfway through I begin to get a feeling that I don't like this man. And so I begin to check myself because he's doing some wonderful stuff. Why I don't like him. I begin to go around the parts of my brain to see why I don't like this man. And I'm watching, I couldn't figure it out. And then it, like that.
Dawned on you.
The reason why I don't like him 3/4 of the way through this movie is because he's stealing all of the comic moves he's doing. He's stealing. And then, about 4 minutes later, I realized that the stuff he was stealing was from actors who had done stuff in the 50s and the 60s.
That is a great story. I mean, the obvious one, I was going to ask you, who's he stealing from? Because in the old days, Bill, before anybody here was born, when people went to the movies, they didn't say, let's go to the movies. They would say, let's go to see Charlie Chaplin. Chaplin was the movies.
Yes.
So he innovated what he was stealing.
So all of these guys that I had seen in the 50s and the 60s, who were hilarious, I was now looking at the man they had stolen it from. The movie was made in 1928 or something like that.
Or before.
Right.
Bill, can I tell you, I'm glad you were born. I'm going to tell you about Bill Cosby. I'm glad that Bill was born in the period of the electronic eye, which means television. But you would have been so great as a mime artist. I mean, with comic body language, you would have been a fantastic silent film star. But
yeah, I'd probably be crippled now, too. Because, you know, you had to fall down a lot.
A lot,
I mean, I watched Buster Keaton.
Right.
You want to take a break?
I'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm chatting here with
my friend.
My one and only, my best friend.
No, not one and only, Joe. Come on, we're not that old.
I got two more, but they're both gone. Both gone. They're both gone. Both gone. Abbott and Costello. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm chatting here with a young fellow named Bill Cosby. This lady, sadly, is no longer with us.
Who is that?
Her name was Luba Lisa. She was in a Broadway show called I Had a Ball with Buddy Hackett.
Yeah.
No longer. And this is Joel McRae's son, Jody McRae. And this is the shredded wheat.
The son of shredded wheat, because it's new and improved now.
Yeah, it's good. It's America. You see any return? You see any return to those days, Bill? Of what we call.
I thought we were on a break.
Well, forget about the break. Of the kind of stuff I see on your show, innocence and decency and.
Well, Joe, I don't like to call it innocence and decency because you send up a flag and people start to.
They resent it.
Oh, here we go, Tower of Power.
But do you think maybe we need some new heroes or new heroines or something?
Yeah. Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West, right?
No.
No.
Joe, you're the only person who has managed to keep it the way it is.
And we're going to say...
all of us have lost to those who've come younger. That's why I'm here. I've come to...
reminisce.
To the mountain to see the wisdom.
You know who says hello? Dick Gregory. You like Dick?
Yeah, where is he?
No, he comes down here about 3 or 4 times.
He's probably fasting.
Comes down with the people that weigh 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, he brings all those people on, and then he eats their food. He makes them feel bad, then he eats their sandwiches and everything.
I want to show Bill's new book and talk about many, many things following these words.
Here it is.
That's somebody's.
This is your book.
I want to talk about this and.
Your book.
You're going to see a great cover following these words. Let's watch closely. The big party is only just beginning. Bill is here for a book launching party. He doesn't even want me to show the book, but I'll make it a book launching party anyhow and tell you the new book. These books don't need plugs because these books remain #1 on the Times bestseller list for 58 weeks and 72 weeks.
Now, you haven't read it. I want you to read it even later on, you know, sometime. But the word is that they like this book even better than...
Fatherhood.
Yes.
And
how did you guess?
What do you mean? I read your... The reason I haven't read it is because I just got the book about an hour and a half ago, but I can't...
I know, that's the way they deliver them out here because they don't know where Sea Caucus is. Did you know Buck Jones?
I never met Buck
but
Jones.
he's in your book. You're starting to put pictures in this book, and you never met these people.
I love do you like cowboys? You like Rough Riders and Tim McCoy and people?
Rough Riders ride, beware. Dun, da, 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 da. So, well, I'm going to Montana. Where are you going? And here's Tex Ritter. How about now? Tell me.
I knew him.
You did?
You know his son, John Ritter?
Oh, yes, his son falls down a lot. But Tex, he was serious.
Right.
When he said, get down off that horse,
Right.
you got down. Did you have him right here?
Twice.
You're kidding.
With his guitar.
And he sang serious, too. He could have rapped.
Sang High Noon.
Uh-oh. And did you know Gene Autry?
Still do.
He was here?
Yeah.
William Boyd.
Hopalong Cassidy met him once.
I ate his bread.
Right.
Had a Hopalong Cassidy bond bread. And then my father said, don't eat it because the horse is on the back. Now tell me about Wallace Berry.
Good actor.
And Marie
Dressler.
I know he was a good actor, Joe. Was he on the show?
No, never met him. I wish I could have.
This is becoming depressing, you
Too
know.
late now, right?
Marie Dressler?
Never met her. No, she died when I was a kid. Died about 1936.
And we're the same age.
Well, I got you beat by about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
About 2 weeks.
Well, then you're not a Cancer.
No.
Milton Berle and I are Cancers.
I'm a Pisces.
You're kidding.
Bill, give us a scoop.
Then my wife is a Pisces.
Really?
That's why we're getting along.
Really?
But don't trust each other.
That's the best way.
Go ahead, ask me.
Give us one of those tidbits, one of those recipes for marital happiness. And I mean, with the you know, people always talk about the divorce rate and how to reduce it. You know what I say? I say, let nature take its course. You can't reduce the divorce rate.
The way that I've remained single, Joe. I mean, married. Is that in times of turmoil and arguing,
Yes.
and when the moment of truth comes and I have to lie, I never try to look like George Jessel.
And sing My Mother's Eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, the time is racing. These words then back with my very close friend, Mr. Bill Cosby. The big party continues. I would love to ask Mr. Bill Cosby about his flash reaction or his initial reaction upon entering WWOR-TV in Secaucus, New Jersey.
Yes, it sort of came up out of everything, and I was quite impressed. I mean, it's very, very impressive. And then I went inside, and the hallways are wide, and this place is wonderful. I am impressed, and it should be the #1 station.
Which it is, especially because of a certain show called The Bill Cosby Show every night around.
No. But it should be. Because, I mean, everything, and the people are wonderful. Your crew is relaxed, everybody, and they know what they're doing. See, that's the key.
Right.
To be relaxed and know what you're doing.
Bill, are you relaxed enough maybe to tell me something, if I could maybe find a scoop? A man who's got everything, is there any maybe self-imposed challenge or some area or some possibility in the life of Bill Cosby? I mean, the man who's got the all-time record for selling comedy albums and TV shows in #1 spot and concert appearances where you can't buy tickets. What kind of a challenge or a dare yet in the life and times of Bill Cosby that has maybe not been announced?
You asked me this question.
Yes.
I'm going to answer.
Please, I'm very...
Secretly.
Yes,
and I have never exposed myself to this particular whim.
I appreciate this.
So honestly.
I know that.
My secret desire, having everything that I have, money, a wife who loves me, a wife that I love, children that I love, and if I don't, they don't bother me. I would love to learn to play triplets with the left hand while playing at the pace of the Cherokee with the right
Could
hand.
be arranged. Could be arranged.
I would love for Art Blakey and Max Roach to teach me that, but I'm too embarrassed to ask them. If I could play these triplets that fast with the left hand, then I think my life would be complete, Joe.
That's nice. You know what Dizzy Gillespie tells me all the time, Bill? Seriously, on a semi-serious.
What do you mean serious?
This is the only TV.
You asked, see? You've abused our friendship.
Right.
You asked me.
Right.
What?
This is the only TV show he'll go on.
I'm going to do like, you know how they do these things, these little puppets and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, do you ever, if you turn the sound off
Right.
on a puppet or a Muppet show,
Yes.
you know how they talk?
Tell me. Right.
You can't read what they're saying because their mouth. There's no words there. Never mind,
No,
Joe.
you're right. I get the message.
Huh?
I get the message.
Okay, what were you going to say? Dizzy Gillespie.
Oh, yeah, forgot about it. Well,
He's not a...
Don't you tell me this is the only show he'll go on because when he goes on all the other shows, they'll ask him, what is jazz? Is jazz more popular in Japan than here? And you know, because you become stereotypically the same...
And you don't know what he does.
He'd rather talk about women's rights, air pollution, penal reform.
Dizzy?
Biafra, yeah. He wants
Gillespie?
Yeah, he wants the world to know
Would rather talk about that?
that he's not dizzy.
On this show?
Oh, yeah.
When?
Many times.
You're kidding. Well, he's come to my house many times. He's never talked about that. He wants to know where the food is.
I don't blame him.
Dizzy Gillespie is the only guy on the face of this earth.
Right.
Have we got time?
Yeah. Who?
Who can eat, and he eats like this. And the food goes around in his mouth. You know how you have the dryer? And in the place where you're drying your clothes, you can see the clothes come around, but they never come out.
Right.
He can chew like that, and the food never leaves his mouth. But you know it's turning around while he's chewing.
Churning. And turning. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest is churning and turning.
You're doing it again,
and
Joe.
the clock is racing too fast. Well, I'm surrounded here by many, many admirers of Bill Cosby. They've grown up alongside him and alongside his career and alongside his whole life. And one of them told me, I got to ask you, have you ever had or could you ever have any political ambitions? So never once, huh?
No, but don't forget, I'm the same guy that said I was going to go back to education on your the last time we did your show.
So next week you might, not next week, but the hat might go in the ring someday.
I don't think so,
Make
Joe.
a lot of people happy.
Well, let me put it this way. I hope not.